from every continent in the world. They were all finding sustainable solutions to the world's most pressing issues. And hearing the diverse stories of resilience inspired me to challenge the mainstream media's sensationalized view of the rest of the world. You hear so many negative stories about everything that's going wrong, and you don't hear from the people on the ground. So I decided I had to use my passion for film and photography to do something. And I wanted to help share the stories of trailblazers and change makers that I had met at CSW, to help inspire other people to find what they could also do to make a difference in the world. I fundraised online for a year, and I gathered support and mentorship from so many people. And when I was 16, I traveled the world for 6 months with my mom to South Africa, Mozambique. Sorry, is it a little quiet? Sorry. I traveled to South Africa, Mozambique, Tanzania, and Thailand to make a documentary about what it means to be a global citizen called The Sunrise Storyteller. In my film, I interviewed committed activists who were providing education for girls in communities in Tanzania where access was limited. I interviewed people ensuring that refugee populations in Thailand could take language and business skills because those populations are typically overlooked and discriminated against. And I've also spoken with a Vietnam War survivor, Kim Phuc, who is a dedicated peacemaker now. I believe that diverse stories that truly reflect the world that we live in can showcase how at every level, people from the grassroots up are making change despite all obstacles. Despite what little resources they may have, they're really doing the work to make the world a better place. Something I'm passionate about as a young activist is specifically Resolution 2250 on youth, peace, and security. It asks member states and relevant United Nations organs and entities to consider the ways to increase meaningful and inclusive participation of youth in peace-building efforts. I believe that listening to the voices and suggestions of diverse groups of young people can lead to more thoughtful and inclusive policies so that we can create a more sustainable future. Resolution 2250, I don't think we've talked about it much, but it highlights 5 key pillars for action: participation, protection, partnerships, and disengagement and reintegration. Right now, it can feel like the fate of the world is sitting in our hands, especially as young people. I've heard a lot, we've messed up the world, it's time for you to take it on. We're leaving it to you. That's a little discouraging, I might say. We've been left to solve climate change. We have a deadline of 11 years. I mean, that's pretty close. I can think about, I've been coming to the UN for 7. That's almost a decade. That's like, repeat that once more and we have irreversible climate change. There's a lot of work for us to do, and it can be not only overwhelming, but it can feel like we're not protected or supported. So that's why we really need those social protection systems. As a young woman, I've had the privilege of being uplifted by mentors who saw the potential and the change that I could make. And one thing that young people can really benefit greatly from, as Katrina touched on, is intergenerational partnership. We need the experience, the wisdom, and the resources of people older than us to make real, sustainable change that lasts for the future. Through my work, I seek to inspire and inform people through film, photography, interactive workshops, but also empower young people by using the SDGs as a framework that they can look at and identify what it is that they're most passionate about. We can work in so many different places, but we're not going to create much change if we're spreading ourselves too thin. So focusing on those 1 or 2 issues that are really key and important to us, like for me, peace and gender equality, those are my areas. Those are what I really care about. We really can make more impact in that way. I think young people need to see that their opinions, our opinions, and voices are not only valuable, but necessary in the fight for progress. And we talk a lot about bringing a seat to the table or knocking on doors, but it's not enough just to have a seat at the table. We need to help young people come to the table informed and passionate and ready to act as leaders, and really listen to as leaders, not of tomorrow, like Katrina said, but of today. We really need to be acting today because we have such little time. So let's help them feel ready to advocate for the changes that we wish to see in the world. And whatever way it may be, whether it's through political activism, arts, raising awareness, raising funds, whatever they choose, let's help them accomplish it together.
Thank you.